Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Watchung Hills performance of You Can Take It With You. My name is Martin Vanderhof. My family and I are so excited to present this inspirational story of love and happiness in Depression-era New York City in 1936. Telling stories such as these helps remind us of what truly matters in life: family, friends, and remaining true to who you are. Please keep your masks on, your cell phones off, and note your nearest emergency exit. But most important, thank you for supporting the arts at Watchung Hills.
That kitchen's hot.
What, Essie?
I say, that kitchen's awful hot. That new candy I'm making just won't ever get cool.
Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day.
Well, I got all those new orders. I went out and got a bunch of new orders.
Well, if this keeps on, I suppose you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night. But I said no. I want to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Oh, yes, but you shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was learning to type.
I think the candy's hardening up now, Miss Essie.
Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some right in. Mother, I want you to try it.
Finish the second act, Miss Sycamore?
What?
I said, did you finish the second act?
Oh, no, Reba. I've just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Oh, yes, but she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and then there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Did they let her in?
Yes, I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anyone can come.
Oh.
So she arrives on Visitor's Day and just stays.
You mean she stays all night?
Oh, yes. She stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she bust that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePinna! Yeah. Mr. DePinna, will you bring out one of those new skyrockets, please? I want to show them to Mrs. Sycamore. Look, Penny, what do you think? These little firecrackers we just made. We can sell them. 10 strings for $1. Listen. Nice, huh?
Oh, yes. Paul, dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the new rockets. We got gold stars, then blue stars, and then bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. DePinna thought of the balloon.
Sounds lovely. Oh, did you do all that today?
Sure, we made up. Oh, here we are. Look, Penny, cost us 18 cents to make, and we sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make before the 4th of July, Mr. DePinna?
Well, we got 2 weeks yet. Say, when are you taking this stuff up to Mount Vernon?
About a week. You know, we're gonna need a bigger booth this year. We got a lot of stuff made up. Well, come on, we're not through yet.
Look, Mr. Sycamore, I think the powder chamber is just a bit too close to the balloon.
Well, we got the stars and the bombs in between.
But that don't give the balloon time enough. A balloon needs plenty of time.
Come on. Let's go down in the cellar and try it.
All right.
Mr. DePinna, if a girl you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
I wouldn't know, Mrs. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Alice gonna be home tonight for dinner, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, well, I don't know, Reba. Maybe.
Oh, well, I'll set a place for her. But she's only been home 1 night this week.
Oh, yes, I know.
Miss Essie's making some mighty good candy in there today. She's doing something new with the coconuts.
Uh-huh. That is nice.
Let's see. 6 and Mr. DePinna, and Mr. Kolenkhov comes, that makes 8, don't it? I better set for 8.
Reba, I think I'll put this play away for a while and go back to the war play.
Oh, I've always liked that one. The war play. Boom, boom.
They'll be better when they're harder, Mother. But try one. I want to know what you think.
Oh, they look lovely. What do you call them?
I think I'll call them love dreams.
Oh, yes, that's nice. I'm going back to my war play, Essie. What do you think?
Oh, are you, Mother?
Oh, yes, I've sort of gotten myself into a monastery, and I can't get out.
Oh, well, it'll come to you. Remember how you got out of that brothel? Oh, the snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them?
Oh, I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes yet?
No, but Donald's coming, and he always brings the flies with him.
Well, make sure you feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is about them.
Yes.
Believe I'll have another love dream. They're good. They're good.
Mr. DePinna was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
Want a love dream, Father? They're on the table.
No, thanks. I gotta wash.
I'm going back to my war play, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. You know, we're putting some red stars after the bombs and then the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Kolenkhov says that I'm his most promising pupil.
You know, you'd think with 40 monks and one girl that something would happen.
Essie! Hey, Essie!
Yeah? Ooh. Oh, Ed, I love it. Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Lovely. Got a lot of you in it. Oh, I made these new candies this afternoon, Ed.
Yeah?
You can take them around tonight.
All right, now, here's the finish. This is me.
Ooh.
How's that?
Oh, Ed, I love it. Oh, remember it when Kolenkhov comes, will you?
Oh, Ed, dear, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was just thinking about it the other day.
I don't know. We could have one if you wanted us to. What about it, Essie? Do you want to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Let's ask him.
Okay.
You kids.
Okay.
Oh, labor play? Religious play? Huh. Oh, sex play? Oh, I like this one. Oh, I know it's here someplace.
I was, right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder. Anything you want printed, Mr. DePinna? How about some more calling cards?
No, thanks. I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you?
All right.
What have we got for dinner, Reba? I'm ready to print the menus.
Let's see. Cornflakes and watermelon, some of those new candies Miss Essie made, and some kind of meat. I forget.
I think I'll print it in bold-faced Shetland ham tonight. You know, if I'm gonna take those new candies around, I better print us some descriptive matter after dinner.
Oh, Ed, honey, do you really think people read those things that you put in the candy boxes?
Ugh.
Oh, here's the war play. Poison gas. Oh, that must be Donald. Look at Reba's smile.
The boyfriend. Hey, Reba.
Oh, they're awfully cute, Donald and Reba.
Hello, Reba.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald. How have you been?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Ed. How have you been, Miss Sycamore?
Very well, thank you. Donald,
Yes, ma'am?
were you ever in a monastery?
No. Oh, I don't go no place much. I'm on relief.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh, Reba, I got those flies you wanted. Got a big mess of them today.
Oh, you sure did.
I see you've been working, Miss Sycamore.
Oh, yes, indeed, Donald.
How's Grandpa?
Oh, just fine. He's over at Columbia this afternoon. The commencement exercises.
My, the years do certainly roll round. Ooh.
M-E-A-D. What's he go there for all the time anyway, Penny?
I don't know. It's so handy just around the corner.
Oh, Donald! Mr. DePinna and I, we're going to take the fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. Do you think you can lend us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only I can't take no money for it this year because if the government finds out I'm working, they'll get sore.
Oh. Ed, I had a wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
You know, Trotsky, the Russian Revolution.
Oh.
Anyhow, it struck me. It was a great fireworks idea. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
Ah, yes, Palisades Park. That's where we met.
Well, I'm gonna do the revolution of full hours display.
Say.
Oh, Paul, that's wonderful.
The red fire is the flag, huh?
Sure, and the Tsar, and the Cossacks.
And the freeing of the slaves?
No, Donald, the Russian Revolution. Hello, Grandpa.
Oh, well, sir, you should have been there. Oh, that's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Wonderful. They get better every year. Oh, you don't know how lucky you are. You're snakes.
Big classes here, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yeah, sure. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to listen to a good speech? You go up and hear Father Divine.
Oh, I'll wait. They'll have him at Columbia.
Oh, Donald, will you tell Reba that Grandpa's home now and we won't wait for Miss Alice?
Yes, ma'am. Reba, Grandpa's home. We can have dinner.
We made a new skyrocket today, Grandpa. Wait till you see it.
Evening, Grandpa. Evening, Mr. DePinna.
Didn't we make a fine rocket today, Mr. DePinna?
We certainly did.
Wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencement.
Oh, don't make enough noise. Oh, you take a good commencement order. I'd hail John out a whole carload of fireworks. And say just as much, too.
Well, don't the graduates ever say anything?
No. They just sit in their cap and nightgowns, get their diplomas, and then along about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, where am I?
Oh, hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Oh, don't I even get kissed?
Oh, excuse me, Grandpa.
Oh, I'll take one, too. You know, I could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Oh, Father,
No thanks.
Mother.
No, thanks, dear.
Oh, play something, Ed.
Okay.
Oh, Grandpa, there's a letter that came for you. Did you get it?
A letter from me. I don't know anybody.
Oh, it was for you, though. Had your name on it.
That's funny. Where is it?
Oh, Mother, where's Grandpa's letter?
What, dear?
That letter that came for Grandpa last week. Where is it?
I don't know. I remember seeing the kittens on it.
Who is it from? Oh, did you notice?
Oh, yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? Wonder what they wanted.
Oh, well, there was one before that, too. There was a couple of them. From the same people.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd bring them to me.
Oh, yes, Grandpa.
I think I'd go out to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state. The state is God.
What's that?
God is the state. The state is God.
Now, who says that?
Trotsky.
Well, that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's nice for printing, you know. Good and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E space.
And so the beautiful princess came into the palace and kissed her mother, and her father, and her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned to the Sycamore family. Surprised? Oh, Alice, I like it. Oh, do you? Is it new?
Oh, it looks nice and summery.
Where did you get it? Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
Oh, you've been taking a lot of walks lately. Oh, that's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby & Co. Well, what's new around here in the ways of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Dad, I bet you've been down in that cellar all day.
Huh? I'm going back to my war play, Alice.
Really, Mother? Oh, Ed, play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote. People.
No, you can mail a letter all the way from
My
me to
virginity is a
Wawa.
priceless thing to me.
Listen, people, listen! I'm not home to dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me. Really? Who is it?
Well, isn't that nice?
I did everything I could to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Why don't you both stay to dinner?
No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I tried to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Oh, can't do anything. Oh, who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby & Co., Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
Well!
The boss's son, just like the movies.
Well, that explains all the new dresses.
And not being home to dinner for 3 weeks.
Oh, why Sherlock Holmes.
Are you going to marry him?
Oh, yes, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go up and put on my wedding dress.
Is he good looking?
Oh, yes, in a word. Oh, dear, what time is it?
I don't know. The broken clock says 6. Does anybody know what time it is?
Oh, Mr. DePinna might know.
It was 5 o'clock a couple of hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes?
Of course.
Yes, I know, but I mean the minute he comes.
Why, of course, Alice.
Well, be sure.
I love you. Well, what do you think of that?
Oh, she seems to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We could have the wedding right in this room.
Now, wait a minute, Penny. This is the first time he's ever called for the girl.
Well, you only called for me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Ed and me. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
Oh, anyhow, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandpa?
She certainly seems happy about it.
Oh, he must be crazy about her. Maybe he's the one who's taking her out to dinner every night. Whoa! This must be him. Never mind, Reba. I'll get it. Okay. Now, remember what Alice said and be very nice to him. Welcome to our little home.
How do you do?
Now, I'm Alice's mother, and this is Alice's grandfather, and her father, and her sister, and her husband, Ed Carmichael. Now give me your hat, a boop, and make yourself a right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My card.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Doesn't Mr. Martin Vanderhof live here?
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhof, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax.
Do you mind if I sit down?
No. Just go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
Oh, no, dear. It's an internal something or other. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore! Excuse me.
What is it?
These things aren't going up. Look.
Oh, not here, Mr. DePinna. Grandpa's busy. Pardon me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhof, we've written you several letters about this, but still have not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
Well, according to our records, Mr. Vanderhof, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You receive yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have. 1901 if you want the exact date.
Well, the government's only concerned from 1914 on. That's when the income tax started. Well, it seems, Mr. Vanderhof, that you owe the government back 24 years income tax.
Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's outlawed.
What's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever file an income tax return?
No, sir.
What was your income last year?
$28.50, wasn't it, Essie?
Yes, sir.
If you please, Now, Mr. Vanderhof, you know there's quite a penalty for not paying an income tax.
Penalty?
Now, look here, Mr. Henderson. Let me ask you something.
Well,
suppose I pay you this money. Oh, mind you, I don't say I'm gonna pay it. Oh, but just for the sake of the argument, what's the government gonna give me?
how do you mean?
Well, if I go into a Macy's and I see something, there it is. I see it. Oh, what's the government gonna give me?
Why, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
Oh, what from?
Well, from invaders, foreigners that might come over here and take everything you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna do that.
If you didn't pay an income tax, they would. How do you think the government keeps up with the Army and the Navy, all those battleships?
Oh, last time we used battleships was in the Spanish-American War. And what did we get out of it? Cuba.
That's right.
And we gave that back too. See, I wouldn't mind paying if there were something sensible.
Sensible? What about the Supreme Court and the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money, no, sir.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax, and you've got to pay it.
Oh, they've got to show me.
We don't have to show you. I just told you. And what about all those buildings down in Washington and interstate commerce and the Constitution?
The Constitution was paid long ago. And this interstate commerce, what is this interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states. See? And if there wasn't interstate commerce, nothing could go from one state to the next. See?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences. They've got laws. My God, I've never come across anything like this before.
Well, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent of it like everybody else.
Listen, Essie, listen to this a minute.
And you want to know something else? You'll go to jail. Do you hear that? If you don't pay, that's the law. And if you think you're better than the law, then you've got another thing coming. You're no better than anyone else, and the sooner you get that to their head, the better. You'll hear from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Look out for those snakes!
Jesus!
How was that, Essie?
Oh, fine, Ed.
Wow! How'd that sound to you folks?
Oh, I liked it.
My goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. It's just that the whole thing is so silly.
Oh, he forgot his hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Huh, just right for me.
Who was that fellow anyway?
Oh, this must be Mr. Kirby.
Better make sure this time.
Yes, I will.
Oh, I hope he's good looking.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
All right, let's take a look at him.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Well, of course.
Wow, Mr. Kirby! We've been expecting you to come in. Now, I'm Alice's mother, and this is Alice's father, and her grandfather, and her sister, and her husband, Ed Carmichael. There! Now you know all of us. Now give me your hat, a boop, and make yourself a right at home.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
Yes, dear. He's lovely.
I'll be right down.
Oh, do sit down, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you folks from dinner or anything.
Oh, no. Have it to me.
No, thank you.
Oh, how about a piece of candy?
No, thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce Mr. DePinna. This is Mr. DePinna, Mr. Kirby.
I was reading about your father in the newspaper the other day. Didn't he get indicted or something?
Oh, no, hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Ha ha ha, yes, I'm certain there was nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePinna. In fact, Alice has often told us what a wonderful man your father is.
Well, I know Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows the business better than any of us.
Well, you're awful young, Mr. Kirby, aren't you, to be vice president of a
a big place like that.
Well, you know what they say about vice president. All I have is a desk with my name on it.
Was that all? Don't you get any salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Oh, now you're just being modest.
Seems kind of dull to me. Wall Street, do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there all that long.
Oh, just out of college, huh?
Oh, yes. I knocked around for a while first, just sort of had fun.
Oh, well, what did you do? Travel?
Oh, yes, for a while. Went to Cambridge for a year.
Oh, England! Hey, what's an English commencement like? Oh, did you see any?
Oh, very impressive, yes. Anyhow, now the fun is over, and I'm facing the real world.
Well, you've certainly got a good start, Mr. Kirby, vice president and a rich father.
Well, that's hardly my fault.
So now, I suppose you're ready to, settle down and, I don't know, get married.
Come now, Penny. I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
Now, I wasn't making up his mind for him, was I, Mr. Kirby?
Not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
You see.
You mustn't rush him, Mother.
Well, all I meant is that he's bound to get married at some point, and suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Oh, well, here I am, a vision in blue. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Oh, yes, we were just having a delightful talk about love and marriage.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry I came down as fast as I could.
No, I didn't mind at all.
Damn those flies in the kitchen! Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where are you going?
I'm going out, Reba.
Stepping, huh? That must be Kolenkhov!
I think we better get going, Tony.
All right.
Half and half, Donald.
My little
Yes, that's Kolenkhov, all right.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Grandpa, I have just received a letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is a failure.
I brought you today, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Pavlova.
Oh, well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Oh, my little Alice. Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you. Tony, this is Mr. Kolenkhov, Essie's dancing teacher.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
Will you pardon us, Mr. Kolenkhov? We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Oh, the Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, all. Goodbye. It was a pleasure meeting you all.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Monte Carlo Ballet.
Oh, isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Come on, everybody, dinner's ready.
I thought he was a nice fella, didn't you?
Oh, yes, and so good looking.
Oh, and he had such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
I certainly did. You were getting pretty personal with him.
Now, Paul. Anyhow, I think he's a very nice young man.
He looks like a cousin of mine.
Ugh, then you had ballet.
I think if they get married here, I'll put the altar right where the snakes are. Oh, you wouldn't mind, Grandpa, would you?
No, not if the snakes don't.
Oh, no, he'll want to get married in a church. His family and everything.
I like it. I really like that.
It's so beautiful.
Awesome church wedding. You and I.
Quiet! Everybody quiet! Well, sir, we've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we're certainly much obliged. Oh, remember, all we ask is just to go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you.
So, one of my cousins, he's got
The one person on my
Did I ever tell you about my cousin?
They are, aren't they? But of course, just walking into any theater gives me a thrill.
Oh, it's been so lovely, Tony. I'd hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Oh, not if you don't want to.
Well, I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
That'd be wonderful.
Oh, see what's in the icebox. Want to come along?
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh, just the kitchen's enough.
Oh, I like it. You've done it very simply, haven't you?
Yes, we didn't know what to do with Empire Neo-Grecian.
So you settled for Frigidaire.
Oh, yes, it's so easy to live with. Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the Sycamores.
Well, why they made these bottle openers for the Singer midgets so small? I never did. All over my coat.
I'll take mine in a glass if you don't mind.
There you are. A foaming beaker. Now, if you'll please be seated, I'd like to offer you a toast.
We are seated.
Miss Alice, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade 1 minute of this night for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Terrific. Haven't you read The Good Earth? Anyhow, I ought to be going.
Oh, is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
I don't want you to.
All right, then I'll stay. When do you take your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
I might take mine then, too.
Oh, really?
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I haven't thought much about it.
Going away, do you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
I do, too.
But you always go up to Maine, don't you?
Well, yes. But, you know, I'm sure I would like the city in the summertime if... Alice, you know what I'm saying. I'd like it if you were here.
I'd like it if you were here too, Tony.
Well, you know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you'd rather spend your summer with me rather than anybody else.
Was I?
Well, if that's true about the summer, how would you feel about the winter?
I'd like that too.
And then there's spring and autumn. If you could see your way clear about those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
Well, that's the whole year. We haven't forgotten anything, have we?
No.
Well, then.
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh, pardon me, Mr. Kirby. That is, I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
It's quite all right, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, no, I'm not looking. No, I just came down here to get a manuscript, and then you two can go right ahead. Little rascal. So how was the ballet?
Wonderful.
You know, I was thinking about writing a play about a ballerina who's a chorus girl, but she wants to be a singer, and she's being trained by this weird ghost who... Oh, here it is! Sex Takes a Holiday. That's what it's called. Well, good night, Tony.
Good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, I think you can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least, I hope so.
Oh, what was that?
It's all right, Tony. That's Father.
Oh, this time of night?
Oh, any time of night, any time of day. Mother, leave!
I'm leaving right now.
Darling, you are more beautiful, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else in the whole world.
Don't, Tony.
If this is about your mother, Alice, all mothers are like that, and Penny is a darling. You see, I'm even calling her Penny.
I don't mean that, Tony. Look, Tony, this is something I should have said a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Darling.
No, wait, Tony. Look, I want to make it clear to you. You're of a whole different world, a whole different kind of people. Oh, I don't mean money or socially. That's too silly. But your family and mine, it just wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, I don't call that dancing what she does.
How's the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful.
Hello there.
Hello.
Look, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, well, yes, I've always thought so.
What does she do, anyhow? Now look, Mr. Kirby. You're Fred Astaire, and I'm Ginger Rogers.
Essie, please.
I only want to use you for a minute.
Now look, Mr. Kirby.
Essie, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree.
You see, Ed?
Yeah. Come on, Essie, we're butting in here.
They've been together all evening.
Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alice.
Good night, Mr. and Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night. Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having that baby?
Oh, yes, he said to go right ahead.
You see, Tony? That's what it would be like.
Oh, I didn't mind that. Anyhow, we're not going to live with your family. It's just the two of us.
No, it isn't, Tony. It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Some people could just break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun, and I don't know, there's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as though only you could understand them. That's not true. Every family has their curious little traits. My father raises orchids at $10,000 a bulb. Is that sensible? My mother believes in spiritualism. That's almost as bad as your mother writing her plays, isn't it?
It goes deeper, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
Darling, what of it?
And look at Grandpa. 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He went up to the office in his elevator and came right down again. He just stopped. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. So for 35 years, he's just collected snakes and gone to circuses and commencements. It never occurs to any of them.
Oh, hello there, children.
Hello, Mr. Vanderhof.
Hi, Grandpa.
Oh, how's the weather? Looks like a nice summer evening.
Yes, it's lovely, Grandpa.
It is. Well, I'm off, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with the policeman on the corner.
The policeman?
We've got a standing date, 12:30 every night. Known him since he was a little boy. Oh, he's really a doctor. But after he graduated, he came to me and said he didn't want to be a doctor. He had always wanted to be a policeman. Oh, so I said, you go ahead and be a policeman, if that's what you want to be. And so, that's what he just did. Oh, how do you like my new hat?
Oh, it's very nice, Mr. Vanderhof.
Yeah, I like it. The government gave it to me. Oh.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you folks were in here.
It's all right, Donald.
Reba kind of fancies some candy, and oh, there it is. You guys don't want it, do you?
No, Donald.
Thanks. Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
Nice dinner?
Yes, Donald.
Was the ballet nice?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain Donald to your father? Could you explain Grandpa? You couldn't, Tony, you couldn't. I love you, Tony, but I love them too, and it's no use, Tony, it's no use.
There's only one thing that you've said tonight that matters, that makes any sense at all. You love me.
But Tony, I know so well.
But darling, don't you think other people have had the same problem? Everybody's got a family.
But not like mine.
But that doesn't stop people who love each other. Darling, won't you just trust me and go on loving me and forget everything else?
How can I?
Because nothing can come between us. You know that. You must. Look, your family wants you to be happy, don't they? They must.
Of course they do, Tony, but they can't change. I wouldn't want them to change.
Change? They wouldn't need to change. They are charming, lovable people just as they are. Look, you're worrying about something that may not even come up.
Oh, Tony, am I?
The only thing that matters is that we love each other. That's so, isn't it?
Yes.
Well then.
Tony, oh Tony!
Darling. Now, I'd like to see a little gaiety around here. Young gentleman comes calling and getting engaged and everything.
Oh, what do I say?
Well, first, you thank the young gentleman for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell him what it was about him that first captured your girlish heart.
The back of your head.
Huh?
Uh-huh. It wasn't your charm and it wasn't your money. It was the back of your head. I just liked it.
And what happened when I turned around?
Oh, I got used to it after a while.
Oh, darling. Think of it. We're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I know I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Well, I'm not exactly unlucky myself. Well, I ought to be going. Good night, Alice. Until tomorrow.
Good night.
Isn't it wonderful that we work in the same office? Otherwise, I'd be hanging around here all day.
Oh, won't it be funny seeing each other in the office and going on as though nothing had happened?
Oh, thank God I'm vice president. Then I can just dictate to you all day long, dear Miss Alice, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Oh, darling, you're such a fool.
Meet me at the drugstore tomorrow morning before work. I'll have a million things to say to you.
All right.
And then lunch and then dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, Tony, what will people say?
Well, it's got to come out sometime. In fact, if you know a good housetop, I'd like to do a little shouting.
Yes, sir, Miss DePinna. We did a good night's work.
That's what? 500 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen junior kitty bombers.
Pretty good. Why, hello, Alice. You just come in?
Oh, no, I've been home quite a while now.
Have a nice evening.
Oh, I had a beautiful evening, Father.
Say, I'd like you to take a look at this new red fire we just made. We're going to turn on the lights, Miss DePinna. I want Alice to get the full effect.
What, Father?
Take a look at this new red fire you made. It's beautiful. There. What do you think of it? Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, oh, Father, everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world.
You can take your old job and...
All right, I am ready to read you the new play, Miss Wellington, anytime you are.
Oh, just a minute, dearie, just a minute.
And just one thing, and I hope you won't mind my mentioning this, but, you don't drink while you're acting, do you? No, I am just asking, of course.
I'm glad you brought that up. Once a play opens, I never touch a drop. Minute I enter stage doors, the bottle gets put away. Until intermission.
You've been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington.
All my life. Ever see Peg of My Heart?
Oh, yes.
I saw it too! Good show. My, hot night, ain't it?
Do you want me to open the window, Miss Wellington?
No, to hell with the weather. Oh. Say, he's cute.
Reba! She's just acting. She don't mean anything.
Well, whenever you're ready, we can go up to my room and start. I thought I'd read the play up in my room.
All right, dearie, I'm ready. When I see snakes, it's time to lay down.
No, those are real, Miss Wellington. Those are Grandpa's. Those are real. Oh, no, I hope she's not going to... Miss Wellington! Oh, my God.
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
Reba, Miss Wellington just passed out. Reba, Miss Wellington just passed out.
Do you think she'll be all right?
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Well, I suppose I'll just have to wait.
Penny, next time you meet an actress on top of a bus, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
Run, dreams around. You've got to get back and have to play for me when Kolenkhov comes.
Oh, Kolenkhov? Coming tonight?
Yes, well, tomorrow night's his night, but I had to change it on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
Oh, isn't it exciting? You know, I'm so nervous.
nervous, you think it was me who was getting engaged instead of Alice.
Oh, I wonder what they'll be like, his mother and father.
Ed, what are you doing now?
Hey, Penny.
Oh my God!
Did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Hey, wait, don't tell me now, Ed. Wait a minute. Helen of Troy.
No, it's Mrs. Roosevelt.
Oh, okay.
You
I see it
know,
now that you said that.
the great thing about his mechanical sets is that you can build so many different things with them. Last week, it was the Empire State Building.
Oh, what is it this week?
Queen Mary.
Oh, hasn't got the right hat on.
Look, Mr. DePinna, would you open the door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Why? What for?
Well, the past 2 days, when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He stands and follows me and watches the house.
Really? I'll take a look and see. I don't see what anybody would follow you for, Ed.
Well, there's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not of Ed.
Well, did you see anything?
There's nobody out there at all.
You're sure?
Positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
Oh, it might have been anybody just walking along the street, Ed. Would you hurry and get back?
Oh, all right.
Want to go down now, Mr. Sycamore, and finish packing up those fireworks?
Oh, yeah. We've got to take this stuff up to Mount Vernon in the morning. Come on.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reba tomorrow night.
Oh, sure, dear.
Why, what happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
Oh, no, she's not acting, Alice. She's really drunk.
Essie, dear, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, right? Because she'll need it.
Oh, yes, I'll get started on some love dreams right now, so I'll be way ahead.
Thanks, dear. Look, Mother, I'm going to be home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by then? The typewriter and the printing press and the snakes and the xylophone.
And Miss Wellington.
Oh, and Miss Wellington. That will give me enough time to fix the table and arrange the flowers.
Oh, the Kirbys are certainly gonna get the wrong impression of this house.
Oh, you'll do all that, won't you, Mother?
Of course, dear.
And we had better have cocktails ready by 7:15 in case they happen to come a little early. Oh, I wonder if I ought to let Reba cook the dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Now, Alice, I wouldn't worry. Oh, from what I've seen from the boy, I'm sure the Kirbys are very nice people. And if everything is elaborate tomorrow night, it's all right, too.
I'm not trying to impress them or be anything that we aren't. I just want everything to go off well.
Oh, no reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
We're going to do everything we can to make it a nice party.
Oh, my darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. I don't know anybody could be this happy. Why, this past week has been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
No, just seeing him for lunch and dinner and 4 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock next morning. You're at the office again. Oh, and there he is. Just seeing him, huh?
I don't care. I'm in love. Oh, Reba! Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Yes. I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy I was. And you know, I still feel that way.
I know. Nice the way Ed and Essie get along too, isn't it?
Oh, and Donald and Reba, even though they're not married. Do you suppose Mr. DePinna will ever marry someone, Grandpa?
Well, there's Miss Wellington.
Oh, dear, I wish she'd wake up. You know, if we're going to read the play tonight, then I'm going to
Sycamore!
need somebody to play Kenneth.
Look what I found. Remember?
Why, of course! It's my painting of you as the discus thrower! Look, Grandpa!
Yes, I remember. Oh, say, you've gotten a little bald, haven't you, Mr. DePinna? Is it noticeable? Well, there's still some right here.
Well, it was a long time ago, just before I stopped painting. Oh, let me see. Oh, that's 8 years.
Too bad you never finished it, Miss Sycamore.
I always meant to finish it, Mr. DePinna, but I started to write a play one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
Oh, just as well, too. I was gonna have to strip next.
Oh,
My goodness. What about the day I came to deliver the ice? That I would stay here for 8 years.
Well, the milkman was here for 5. Oh, just ahead of you.
Say, why did he leave? I forgot.
No, he didn't leave, no. No, he died.
Oh, he was such a nice man. Oh, remember the funeral, Grandpa? We never knew his name, so it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
Oh, what was the name we finally made up for him?
Oh, Martin Vanderhof. We gave him your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Well, it certainly was a lovely thought, because otherwise he never would have gotten all of those flowers.
It certainly was. Oh, it didn't hurt me any. Not bothered with the mail anymore. And I haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
Yes, it really was a wonderful idea.
I wish you'd finish that sometime, Miss Sycamore. I'd kind of like to have it.
You know what, Mr. DePinna? I think I'll do some work on it right tonight.
Say, will you?
I don't think she's going to wake up anytime soon. Okay, look, Mr. DePinna, you go down to the cellar and get the costume on and bring up the easel. Is it still down there?
I think so.
Oh, now where did I put my palette and brushes?
Rebishka, my little Rebishka.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kolenkhov. Oh, why, hello, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Oh, Madam Sycamore, I greet you. Grandpa, what should I do about Rebishka here? I keep telling her she'd make a great toe dancer, but she'll only laugh.
No, sir, Mr. Kolenkhov. I couldn't get up on my toes. I've got corns.
Oh, Rebishka, you could wear diamonds. Ah, a great girl, Grandpa. Oh, what is that?
Oh, it's a picture of Mr. DePinna. Oh, Penny painted it.
Ugh, it stinks.
I know. How do you like that?
Ugh, what is that?
Oh, she's an actress. Friend of Penny's.
She is, drunk, no?
Oh, she is drunk. Yes. How are you, Kolenkhov?
Oh, I am magnificent. Life is chasing around inside of me like a squirrel.
Yes, huh? What's new in Russia? Oh, any more letters from your friend in Moscow?
Oh, I just received a letter, and I say for you, the stamp.
Oh, thanks, Kolenkhov.
He has been sent to Siberia.
Yes, hey. How's he like it?
Oh, he has escaped. He has escaped and he has gone back to Moscow. Oh, he'll get them if they do not get him. The Soviet government. I could take the entire Soviet government in my hand and...
Sorry I'm late, Mr. Kolenkhov. I'll get into my dancing clothes right away.
Oh, we'll work for it, Pavlova. Tonight, we make something new.
Yay.
Go, get dressed, do your stretches. Straight legs and...
Pointed feet.
Always.
Essie making any progress, Kolenkhov?
Confidentially. Oh, she stinks.
Oh, well, as long as she's having fun.
You sure do tickle Reba, Mr. Kolenkhov. She's laughing her head off out there.
She's a great woman. Say, Donald, what do you think of the Soviet government?
The what, Mr. Kolenkhov?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, I like it fine. I'm on relief, you know?
Yes, and you like that?
Yeah, sure, it's fine. Only thing is, you got to go around to a place every week and get it. And sometimes they have you wait on a line for pretty near half an hour. Government ought to be run better than that, don't you think, Grandpa?
Oh, government ought to stop sending me letters. They sent me a letter and they said they want me to be at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. You listen to that?
Ugh, income tax. They've got you now, Grandpa.
Oh, I'm supposed to pay them a lot of money, so I have to keep Donald on relief.
You don't say, Grandpa. You're gonna pay for it from now on?
Oh, that's what they want.
So, you're saying I can come right here and get it instead of standing on that line?
No, Donald. I'm afraid you're gonna have to go waste a full half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. It breaks up my week.
Ugh. He should have been in Russia when the revolution started. Then he would have waited in a line, a bread line. What have they done to Russia? Think of it. The Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina, cousin to a Tsar. A waitress at Child's restaurant. I ordered baked beans from her only yesterday. It broke my heart, Grandpa. It's a crazy world.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Kolenkhov. It's the people in it. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
Ugh, but how can we relax at times like these?
Oh, well, if they'd relax, there wouldn't be times like these. Oh, that's just my point. Life is kind of beautiful if you just let it come to you. Oh, but the trouble is, people forget that. I know I did. I was right in the thick of it. Oh, fighting, scratching, clawing. Regular jungle. One day, it kind of struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
Oh, so you did what?
Just relax. 35 years ago that was, and I've been a happy man ever since.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Oh, Alice, I have not yet seen you to give you my congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
May you be very happy and have many children. That is my wish for you.
That is quite a thought.
Ah, love. Love is all we have left in the world, Grandpa.
Yes, but there is plenty of that.
Oh, and soon Stalin will take that too.
Ta-da! Oh, it feels so good to get into my old art things again. Oh, they still look all right, don't they, Grandpa?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Madam Sycamore, you are a breath of Paris.
Oh, why, thank you, Mr. Kolenkhov.
I didn't know you worked for the WPA.
Oh, no, Donald. You see, I used to paint all the time. And
It
then one day-
happened again. There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Oh, nonsense, Ed. It's your imagination.
No, it's not. It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following
Oh,
me.
you do not know what it means to be followed. In Russia, everyone is followed. I was followed out of Russia.
Of course. Oh, you see, Ed, it is only your imagination.
Well, maybe.
Oh, here we are! Oh, put it here, Mr. DePinna.
Ed, for tonight's lesson, play the first movements of Scheherazade.
Okay.
Mr. DePinna, has something happened to your figure during these 8 years?
Nope, I don't think it's any different.
Oh, yes, Miss Wellington, yes! Oh, dear.
Sorry, Mr. Kolenkhov. I couldn't find my slippers.
Oh, we have a hot night for it, Pavlova. But art is only achieved through perspiration.
Oh, why, that's wonderful, Mr. Kolenkhov. Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes. Oh, but I have to see if you've got a little talent with it. Only made 2 bullseyes last night. Oh, I got to do better than that.
You are ready. We begin. Pirouette. No, pirouette. Oh, come on now, you can do that. It has been 8 years now. There, you almost had it. Entrejot. Oh, Grandpa, you cannot relax while Stalin is in Russia. The Tsar relaxed, and look what happened to him.
It was too late.
Mr. Kolenkhov, Mr. Kolenkhov.
If the Tsar had not relaxed, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina would not serve baked beans today.
Mr. Kolenkhov!
I'm sorry. We return to the pirouette.
Could you pull in your stomach, Mr. DePinna? That's right.
You must be freer. Freer with the hands, so the whole body must be into it. Ed, help us with the music. The music must be free as well.
Mrs. Sycamore! Mrs. Sycamore! What, Reba?
Good evening.
So you met someone who set you back on your heels. Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And he broke it in little pieces. And now how do you do? So you lie awake just singing the blues all night. Goody, goody. So you think that love's a ball of dynamite. Hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to ya. Goody, goody for him. Goody, goody for me.
Mrs. Sycamore!
do?
How do you do?
I hope we're not too, early.
Oh, no. Oh, just come right in. It's perfectly all right. We're glad to see you.
Why, yes, only, we thought it was to be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? What?
Now. It's perfectly all right. Oh, just make yourselves at home.
Tony, how could you possibly?
I don't know. I just thought that maybe.
Really, Tony? This is most embarrassing.
Oh, not at all. Why? We weren't doing a thing.
No. Just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. Oh, now, don't let it bother you. Oh, this is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael, Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Kolenkhov. Oh, and Mr. DePinna.
How do you do?
Go buy the costume. I'll take it right now.
Mr. DePinna, would you go tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up, tell him that Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
Oh, and be sure to put his pants on.
All right. Excuse me.
I'll tell Alice that you're... Alice, dear!
Oh, what is it?
Alice, will you come down, dear? We've got a surprise for you. Well...
Oh, Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Yes, if you're sure that we're...
Oh, don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless. They're just snakes. Oh, Ed, take them into the kitchen.
Of course, we are so used to them around the house.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but snakes happen to me.
I still feel very uncomfortable about this. Tony, how could you have done such a thing?
I'm sorry, Father. I thought it was tonight.
It was very careless of you, very.
Oh, now anybody can get mixed up, Mr. Kirby.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? Oh, they've come for dinner, you know.
Oh, please don't bother. We're really not hungry at all.
Oh, but it's not a bit of bother. Ed! Okay. Tell Donald to run down to the A&P and get half a dozen bottles of beer and, some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Please don't trouble yourself, Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyways.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh! I'm very fond of it.
You can have frankfurters if you'd rather.
Either one will do.
Okay. Make it frankfurters and some Campbell soup and some cream corn. Got that, Ed?
Okay.
And tell him to hurry. The A&P is just around the corner, and frankfurters don't take any time at all to boil.
Oh, and this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
Oh my God! This is Mr. Sycamore's busiest time of the year. Around the 4th of July, he is always working incredibly.
Darling, I am the most dull-witted person in the entire world. I thought it was tonight.
Oh, wait, Tony, I thought you... Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine why I wasn't... Oh, have you all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice? How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
No, darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you, my dear. We've all just met each other a night sooner, that's all.
Of course. Oh, but I was planning such a nice party tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
There you are, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just that we better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all done, Alice. No, I asked Donald to... That's all been attended to.
Okay. But, Mother, what did you send out for? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion. He can only eat certain things.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Of course it is.
No, I asked him what he wanted, Alice.
Yes, but...
Now, it's not as serious as all that, just because I have a little indigestion.
Perhaps it isn't indigestion at all. Perhaps you have stomach ulcers.
Don't be absurd,
You
Mr.
mustn't mind
Kolenkhov!
Mr. Kolenkhov, Mr. Kirby. He's a Russian, and Russians are inclined to look on the dark side.
I am a Russian, but a friend of mine, a Russian, died of stomach ulcers.
Really,
Please, Mr. Kolenkhov. Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion. That's all.
All right. Let him wait.
Oh. Well,
Tell me, Mr. Kirby, how do you find business conditions? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
What? Yes, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
But you figure that things are going to keep on improving.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, industry is now operating at 64% of full capacity, as against 82% in 1925. Of course, in 1929...
That may seem quite strange to you people, but she's not quite accountable for her actions. A friend of Mrs. Sycamore's. Overcome by the heat.
he's cute!
Make sure she's all right. It is awfully hot. You can escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby up in Maine?
As a rule. I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Yes, the flower show. Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the highlight of her year.
I won a ribbon at a flower show once for raising onions. Remember, Alice? That was a garden show, Essie.
I think she'll be all right now. Has Donald come back yet?
No, he hasn't.
Well, he'll be right back, and dinner won't be any time at all. Oh, I'm afraid you must be starved.
Oh, no. Quite all right. Hello there. What's this? I didn't know there were little children in the house.
Oh, no. That's mine.
Oh?
Really? Well, I suppose every man has his hobby, or do you use this as a model of some kind?
No. I just play with it.
Whee!
Whee!
I see.
Maybe you'd be better off if you had a hobby like that, Father, instead of raising your orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they take 6 years before they blossom, don't they? Think of that.
Some of them take much longer than that. I've got one coming along now I've waited 10 years for.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Madam Sycamore.
Yes, of course, during that time they require the most scrupulous of care. I remember a bulb I was...
Oh, Donald! Oh, did you get everything, Donald?
Yes'm. Only they didn't have any frankfurters, so instead I got pickled pig's feet.
Never mind, Donald. You bring everything into the kitchen. Let's go tell them all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. I know they'd love to hear about it. Excuse me.
Kind of an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids.
Yes, it is, but I feel that if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never truly expensive.
That's very true.
You see, I need something to relieve that daily nerve strain. After a week in Wall Street, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something like that. A lot of men I know have yachts just for that very reason.
Now, why don't they just give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was just joking.
Well, I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, it's more to me than just a hobby. For my great solace, it's spiritualism.
Mother. Oh, she's funny. She has jokes.
Spiritualism. Oh, now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that's a fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I would rather not discuss it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Remember, Penny, you've got 1 or 2 hobbies of your own.
Oh, yes, but not silly ones.
I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
To be ideal, hobby should improve the body as well as the mind. Why, the Romans were a great people. And what was their hobby? Wrestling. Wrestling must be quick with the mind and quicker with the body.
Yes, but I'm afraid wrestling isn't very practical for most of us. I wouldn't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You would make a great wrestler. You're built for it. Look.
Are you all right?
Where are my glasses?
Here they are, Mr.
I am sorry, Mr. Kirby, but when you wrestle again, you will of course not wear glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Let's get you seated,
Mr.
Father.
Kolenkhov, how could you do something like this? Oh, why didn't somebody stop him?
I think it would be best if we were to get going.
Mother!
Please don't go, Mrs. Kirby. Please, Mr. Kirby. I ordered some scrambled eggs for you and plain salad. Oh, please don't go.
Ugh, I am sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Kirby, if I had been there.
That's quite all right.
Of course it is. It's all right, Alice. We're not going.
Well, that was exciting for a minute, wasn't it?
You're talking about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Oh, do you raise many different varieties?
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Kirby.
Ugh, what did I do? That was so terrible. I threw him to the ground. I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, please, Mr. Kolenkhov.
I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all now.
Would you like some candy while you're waiting, Mr. Kirby? I've got some freshly made.
My doctor does not permit me to eat candy. Thank you.
Oh, but these are nothing, Mr. Kirby. Just coconut and marshmallow and fudge. Essie, please. Miss Alice? Miss Alice? Excuse me. Oh, what is it, Reba?
The eggs done fell down the sink.
Oh, make some more quick.
I don't got any.
Send Donald out for some.
All right.
Oh, and tell him to hurry. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's been a little delay, but everything will be ready in just a minute. What? What?
Sure have put you folks into a lot of trouble with my stupidity.
No, not at all, Tony.
Oh, look, why don't we all play a game of some sort while we're waiting?
Oh, that'd be fine.
Mother, I don't think Mr. and Mrs.
I have an idea. I know a great trick with a glass of
No, but I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kirby would love this game. It is perfectly harmless.
Please, Mother.
I'm afraid I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, but any fool could play this game, Mr. Kirby. All you do is write your name on a piece of paper.
Mother, Mr. Kirby does not want.
Oh, he'll love it. Here you are, Mr. Kirby. Write your name on this piece of paper. And, Mrs. Kirby, you do the same on this one.
Mother, what is this game?
Honey dear, could you pass out the pencils to me? Oh, I used to play it at school. It's called Forget Me Not. Paper for you, and papers for you. Now, I'm going to call out 5 words, just anything at all. And as I call out each word, you are to put down the first thing that comes into your mind. Is that clear? For instance, if I were to say grass, you might put down green. Oh, just anything you think of, see? Or if I were to call out chair, you might put down table. It shows the reactions people have to different things. Oh, you see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby.
Come on, Father, be a sport.
Very well, I shall be happy to play.
Oh, you see, Alice, he does want to play. Well, now then, are we ready? Now remember, you must play fair. Put down the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
Now then, are we ready?
Ready.
The first word is potato. Potatoes. Oh. Ready for the next one? Okay. Bathroom.
Mother!
The bathroom, got that? All ready? Lust.
Mother, this is not exactly...
Nonsense, Alice. That word's all right.
Mother, it's not all right.
I don't know. Seems to me like a perfectly fair word.
You see, now you mustn't interrupt the game.
What was that last word again, please?
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
This is quite a game, isn't it?
Grandpa. Okay. The next word is honeymoon.
Oh my god. Stop it.
Oh, whew. Okay. Oh. And the last word is sex.
Oh, mother!
Everybody got sex? All right, now give me all the papers. Thank you, dear. Oh, may I have your paper, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, what happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I read out your reaction.
Oh, I see. It's really quite an interesting game, isn't it?
Oh, I knew you'd like it. I'll read your paper first, Mr. Kirby. Listen up, everybody. I'm going to read Mr. Kirby's paper first. This is Mr. Kirby. Potatoes, steak. That's very good. You see how they go together? No, steak and potatoes.
Oh, I just happened to think of it.
Oh, well, it's very good. All right. Bathroom, toothpaste. Well, lust, unlawful. Oh, now isn't that nice? Oh, honeymoon, trip. Yes. And sex, male.
Oh,
Oh, yes, of course. You are. That's really a wonderful paper, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you. It's more than just a game, you know. It's sort of an experiment in psychology, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It shows just how your mind works. Now we'll see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. Thank you. Listen, everybody, this is Mrs. Kirby. Potatoes, starch. Oh, I know just what you mean, Mrs. Kirby. Oh, dear.
All right, goodbye. All right.
Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
How's that?
Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
I don't quite follow you, my dear.
I don't know, Anthony. I just thought of you in connection with it. After all, you are in there a great deal. From bathing to shaving to... Look, you do take a long time.
Indeed, I hadn't realized I was being selfish in the matter. Will you go on, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, it's really a silly game and we ought to stop it.
Yes.
No, please go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, where was I? Oh, yes. Lust, human. Oh, that's a nice one.
Human, really, Miriam?
What I meant, Anthony, is that lust is, after all, a human emotion.
I disagree with you, Miriam. Lust is not a human emotion, and it is depraved.
Very well, Anthony. I'm wrong.
Oh, really? It's the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions.
Yes.
No, I find this game rather interesting. Will you go on, Mrs. Sycamore? What was the next word again?
Honeymoon.
Ah, yes. And what was Mrs. Kirby's answer to that?
Honeymoon. Dull.
Did you say dull?
What I meant, Anthony, is that the hot springs were not very gay that season. All those old people out on the porch all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall it.
Remember, Father, this is only a game.
A very illuminating game. Will you go on, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Kirby. This one's all right. Sex, Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that, Miriam?
I don't know what I meant, Anthony. Nothing.
But you must have meant something, otherwise you wouldn't have put it down.
It was just the first thing that came into my head. That's all.
But what does it mean? Sex? Wall Street?
I don't know what it meant, Anthony! It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street! Even when we...
Oh,
I don't know what I meant! Would you mind terribly, Alice, if we didn't stay for dinner? I'm afraid this game has given me a headache.
Oh, I understand, Mrs. Kirby.
Yes, possibly we'd better postpone the dinner, if you don't mind.
But you're coming tomorrow night, aren't you?
No, I'm afraid we have an engagement tomorrow night.
Yes, perhaps we'd better postpone the whole affair a little while, the hot weather and,
I think we're being very ungracious, Father. Of course we'll stay to dinner. Tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come, Tony. I'm sure everyone understands.
Well, I don't. I think we should stay.
No, Tony.
What?
We were fools, Tony, ever to think it would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Darling, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry to hear that, my dear. Very sorry. Miriam, are you ready?
Yes, Anthony.
You really mustn't mind this.
It was a pleasure meeting you all.
Yes, lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
Very well. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Everybody get down! Don't move! How dare you? Why, what is the meaning of this?
What's all this?
I demand an explanation.
Keep your mouth shut, you. Now, which one is it?
What are you doing?
Oh, Grandpa, what is it?
This is an outrage.
Shut up. Now, what is your name?
Edward Carmichael, I haven't done anything.
You haven't, huh? Wow, he seems rather high-handed to me. What's it all about? Department of Justice.
Oh my goodness, J-Man!
What have you done?
I haven't done anything.
What's the point done, officer? That door lead to the cellar?
Yes, it does.
Yes?
Matt, Jim, take a look upstairs. See what you find.
Okay.
I haven't done anything.
Come here, you. You ever seen these before?
They're my circulars.
Oh, you print this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
And then you put them in boxes of candy and get it into people's homes?
But I didn't mean anything.
You did it, huh? Dynamite the Capitol? Dynamite the White House? Dynamite the Supreme Court? God is the state. The state is God.
But I didn't mean anything. I just like to print. Don't I, Grandpa?
Now, officer, the government's in no danger from it. Printing is just his hobby. That's all. He prints anything. He does, huh?
Oh, I've never heard of such nonsense.
I refuse to stay here. Let me get my 5, will ya? Let me get my 5.
Shut up, you! We were right, Chief. They got enough gunpowder to blow the whole city.
We'll use that for...
Keep still! Everybody in this house is under arrest! Officer! This is all nonsense! Shut up!
There once was a young lady. Oh, pipe down, gun boy. There once was a young lady. Who said I was the old dead?
It's my mother!
The
fireworks! The fireworks!
The appearance in the West Side Court this morning, after spending the night in jail, the defendants, 13 in all, were brought before Judge Calyn and given suspended sentences for the manufacturing of fireworks without a permit.
Yeah, kept me in the same cell as the stripteaser from the burlesque show.
I was in the cell with Mr. Kirby. My, he was mad.
Mrs. Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
Whole lot about Mr. Kirby here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby & Co., 62 Wall Street, who was among those apprehended, declared he was in no way interested in the manufacturing of fireworks, but refused to state why he was on the premise at the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby is a member of the Union Club, the Racket Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. My, he is certainly a joiner.
All them rich men? Elks or something.
I suppose, after all this, Mr. Tony ain't ever gonna marry Miss Alice, huh?
No, sir. And it's too bad, too. Miss Alice sure loves that boy.
Ever notice how rich folks always getting themselves into trouble?
Yes, sir. I'm glad I'm poor.
Me too.
My, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all that food out in the kitchen. Ain't going to be no party tonight, that's for sure.
Ain't we gonna eat it anyhow?
Well, I'm cooking it, but I'm not sure anyone's going to have an appetite.
I'm hungry.
Well, they ain't. They're all so broke up about Miss Alice.
What you want to go away for? Where's she going?
I don't know. Out in some place, and she's going all right, no matter what they say. I know Miss Alice when she gets that look in her eye.
Too bad, ain't it?
Sure is.
Not even a balloon left.
Mr. DePinna, how's your hand? Better?
Yeah, it's better. Is there some more olive oil out there?
In the salad bowl.
Thanks.
Well, she's going. Nothing anybody said could change her.
She isn't going to be away long, is she, Miss Sycamore?
I don't know, Reba, she wouldn't say.
Oh, my. Sure is going to be lonesome around here without her.
How do you feel, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I'm all right, Donald, just, a little upset. Perhaps if I do some work, I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you then, Miss Sycamore.
She's going, Penny.
Yes.
Now, Penny.
I can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel like it's our fault.
It's mine more than yours, Penny. All these years, I have just been going along, enjoying myself when maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Oh, don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone ahead and been an architect, I don't know, something. Something Alice could have been proud of. I felt that all last night looking at Mr. Kirby.
But we've been so happy.
I know, but maybe it's not enough. I used to think it was, but I'm just kind of all mixed up right now.
What time is she going?
Pretty soon. Train leaves at 7:30.
If only she could see Tony. I know he could persuade her.
But she won't, Penny. He's been trying all day.
Well, where is he now?
I don't know. I suppose walking the block again. Anyhow, she won't talk to him.
Maybe he can catch her as she's leaving.
But it's no use, Penny.
No, I suppose not. I feel so sorry for Tony, too. Well, Grandpa?
Oh, no, Penny. Let the girl alone.
But, Grandpa!
Oh, suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. Oh, she'll be back. Oh, you can take just so much Adirondacks, and then you come home.
Oh, but it's all so terrible, Grandpa.
Oh, in a way. Oh, but it has its bright side, too.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting into the patrol wagon for one, and the expression on his face when he and Donald had to take a bath together. My, I won't forget that if I live to be 100. And I warn you people, I intend to. If I can have things like that going on in my life.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was a burlesque dancer there, and she kept singing a strip song while Mrs. Kirby undressed.
Oh, I bet you Bar Harbor's gonna see pretty dolls to the Kirbys this summer. Oh, need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandpa. I'm just going to press these.
Alice, dear.
No, Penny.
I'll bring the big bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thank you. Would you like to take some candy for the train, Alice? Oh, no thanks, Essie.
Really, Alice, you could be just as alone here as you could in the mountains. You could stay up in your room all the time.
No, Mother, I need to be by myself, away from everybody. I love you all, you know that, but I just have to go away for a while. I'll be all right. Father, did you phone for a cab?
No, I didn't know you wanted one.
Oh, I told Mr. DePinna to tell you, Paul. Didn't he tell you?
Oh, he told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that would always forget everything, that behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick of cornflakes and Donald and everything. Why can't we just be like other people? Or else
Thanks. Alice, won't you listen to me, please?
Tony, it's no use.
Alice, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
She walked right out the minute he came in.
Knock the olive oil right out of my hand. Ugh, I'm gonna be smelling kind of fishy.
Oh, how are you feeling, Mr. DePinna? Ooh, hands still hurting you?
Nah, it's better.
Everything burnt up, huh? Downstairs?
Everything. And my Roman costume.
I told you there was a bright side to everything. Ooh, okay. All except my 23 years back income tax. I get another letter every day.
Say, what are you gonna do about that anyway, Grandpa?
Well, I kind of had an idea. It may not work. Oh, but I'm trying it anyhow.
Well, what is it?
Well,
Good evening,
Oh,
everyone.
why, Mr. Kolenkhov.
oh, hello, Kolenkhov.
I apologize. The door was open.
Oh, no, oh, come on in.
You will excuse my coming today. I realize you're all upset.
That's all right, Mr. Kolenkhov.
I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Kolenkhov. I don't feel up to it.
Oh, well,
Oh, but do stay to dinner, Mr. Kolenkhov. We've got all that food out there in the kitchen, and somebody's got to eat it.
I would be happy to, Madam Sycamore.
Fine.
I wonder if I know you all well enough to ask of you a great favor.
Why, of course, Mr. Kolenkhov. What is it?
You know my friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina?
Yes.
She's a great woman, the Duchess. Cousin to a czar and a waitress at Child's Restaurant in Times Square.
Oh, yes, I know. If there's anything at all we can do, Mr. Kolenkhov.
Well, she has not had a good meal since before the revolution.
Oh, she must be hungry.
And not only is today her day off, Thursday, but also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mr. Kolenkhov, if you're saying you'd like the Duchess to come to dinner, why, we'd be honored.
Oh, yes?
Oh, in the name of the Duchess, I thank you.
Oh, I can hardly wait to meet her. Where is she now?
Outside in the street. Oh, I'll go get her.
Oh, Ed, straighten your tie. Essie, your dress. How do I look? All right?
You know, if this keeps going on, I want to live to be 150.
Introducing the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. Your Highness, this is Madam Sycamore, Madam Carmichael, Grandpa.
Oh, Madame.
Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael, and Mr. DePinna.
All right now, Mr. DePinna.
Will you be seated, Your Highness?
Thank you. You're most kind.
We are honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am most happy to be here. How soon is dinner?
Oh, it'll be quite soon, Your Highness, very soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
Your Highness, I will make sure you are on time.
Thank you, Kolenkhov.
Your Highness. I think you waited on me in Child's once. The 72nd Street Police.
No. That is my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
Oh, I like that name. I work in Times Square.
Quite a lot of your folks living over here now, aren't there?
Yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, he is an elevator man at Vasey's. He is a very nice man. Then there is my cousin, Prince Alexei. He will not be speaking to the rest of us because he works at Hattie Carnegie. He is in ladies' underwear.
Well, when he sold hot dogs at Coney Island, then he was willing to talk to you.
Kolenkhov, our time is coming. My sister, Natasha, she is studying to be manicurist. And Uncle Sergei, they have promised to make floor walker. And next month, I will be transferred to 5th Avenue Childs. From there, it is only step to Schross. Then we will see what Prince Alexei says.
Oh, I think you've got him.
You are telling me.
Your Highness, did you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Of course. He was my cousin. It was terrible what happened to him, but perhaps it was for the best. Because he get a job now.
Pravda, that is true.
And poor relations are poor relations. It is same for every family. One cousin, the king of Sweden. He was very nice to us for about 10 years. And once in a while, he would send us a money order. Until he said, I cannot go on! I am not doing so well myself! I do not blame him.
No, of course not. Will you excuse me for a moment?
Tell me, Grand Duchess, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is true. And how?
You don't say!
Your Highness, we do need to watch the time.
Yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He is communist.
Well, we'll hurry things up. Essie, why don't you go into the kitchen and see if you can help Reba?
I will help too. I am very good cook.
Oh, but Your Highness, not on your day off.
I do not mind. Where's your kitchen?
Oh, right through here, Your Highness, but you're the guest of honor.
But I love to cook. Come, Kolenkhov. If they have sour cream and pot cheese, I will make some blitzes.
Blitzes, come, Pavlova. Let us show you something new.
Say, the Duchess is all right, isn't she? Hey, Duchess, can I help?
Gee, she's got a nice face for a mask, hasn't she?
You know, she's really a very nice woman, considering she's a Grand Duchess.
Wonderful. What some people can go through. And so cute, kind of gay, too, isn't it?
She made me forget about everything for a minute.
I'd better go call that cab, I suppose.
No, wait, hold here.
Ed, will you go up and bring my bag down?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
All right, Ed. Bring it down. Did you know that you have the most stubborn daughter in all 48 states?
Oh, that must be the cab.
Oh, if it is certainly wonderful service.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes, he is. Come in, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Forgive my intruding. Tony, I want you to come home with me right now. Your mother is very upset.
Very well, Father. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye, Tony.
I need hardly say how painful this is to Mrs. Kirby and myself, especially not to you people. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes. In a way, no. Now, I'm not the type of person who tries to run other people's lives, Mr. Kirby. Oh, but the fact is, I don't think these two young people has got as much sense as you and I have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
Oh, I'm just talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can look at a king, can't he?
You want me to do that for you, Alice?
No, thanks, Mother.
You know, Alice, you've got quite a while before that train goes.
Will you send a cab to 761 Claremont right away? That's right? Thank you.
Oh,
Father!
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night you think this family's kind of crazy.
Now, I wouldn't say that, although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending the night in jail.
Oh, well, you got to remember, Mr. Kirby, you came on the wrong night. Not tonight. I'll bet you nothing will happen at all.
Thanks, Reba!
Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhof, it was not merely last night that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony. I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
No, he isn't.
Alice, you're in love with this boy, but you're not marrying him because we're the kind of people we are.
Grandpa.
I know. You think the two families wouldn't work well together. Oh, well, maybe they wouldn't. Oh, but who says they're right and we're wrong?
I didn't say that, Grandpa. I only said...
Well, what I feel is that Tony's too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
How is that?
Yes. Mixed up and unhappy. The way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhof. I am a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. What do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because, Most of your time is spent in doing things you don't want to do.
I don't do anything that I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. You said last night that at the end of Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? Why? That's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Oh, why not? You've got all the money you need. You can take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhof, but I spent my entire life building up my business.
Oh, and what it's got you. Same kind of mail every morning, same kind of deals, same kind of meetings, same dinners at night, same indigestion. Where does the fun come in, Mr. Kirby? Don't you think there ought to be something more? You must have wanted more when you started out. We haven't got too much time, you know. Any of us.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Oh, time enough for everything. Oh, read, talk, visit the zoo now and then. Oh, practice my darts. Even have time to notice when spring comes around. Oh, don't see anybody I don't want to. Don't have 6 hours of things I have to do every day before I get in 1 hour of what I like in. Oh, and I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. Now, what's the matter with that?
The matter with that? What? Why, suppose we all did it. What a fine world we'd have. Everyone going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhof. Who would do the work?
Oh, there's always people like that to work. You can't stop them. Oh, inventions, and they fly the ocean. There's always people like that to work in Wall Street, too, because they like it. But from what I've seen from you, I don't think you're one of them. No, I think you're missing something.
I am not aware of missing anything.
I wasn't either, till I quit. I used to get down to that office, 9 o'clock sharp, no matter how I felt. Oh, lay awakes at night for fear that I wouldn't get that contract. Used to worry about the world, too. Oh, got all worked up whether Cleveland or Blaine was going to be elected president. Seemed awful important at the time, but who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years that nobody can take away from me. No matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhof. It's un-American, and it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under the influence.
And what's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it? Why, it's downright communism. That's what it is.
Well, you didn't always think so.
I most certainly did. What are you talking about, Tony?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so, because there was a time you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Why, Tony, don't be an idiot.
Yes, you did. I came across those letters you wrote, Grandfather. Do you remember those?
No. How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Why, that's wonderful! Did you wear tights, Mr. Kirby?
Certainly not. The whole thing is absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player.
Tony!
And at 21, you ran away from home because Grandfather wanted you to go into the business. It's all down there in black and white, Father. You didn't always think so.
Well.
I may have had silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and I forgot all about them.
Not entirely. There's still a saxophone at the back of your clothes closet.
There is?
That's enough, Tony. We will discuss this later.
No, I want to talk about it now. I think Mr. Vanderhof is right. Dead right. I'm never going back to that office. I've always hated it, and I'm not going on with it. And I'll tell you something else. I didn't make a mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night, and I brought you here on purpose.
Oh. Tony!
Because I wanted you to wake up. I wanted you to see a real family, as they really were. One that loves and understands each other. You don't understand me. You've never had the time. I'm not going to make your mistake. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to go into the business just because I'm your son. I'm going to find something that I want to do.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer, but at least it'll be something that I want.
That must be the cab.
Oh, tell him to wait a minute, Ed.
Grandpa!
Oh, do you mind, Alice? Mr. Kirby. Tony is going through just what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same things to your father 25 years ago. Oh, we all did it. And we were right. How many of us would be willing to settle for what we'd eventually get? All the plans we make. What happens to them? Oh, it's only a handful of the lucky ones that can even look back and say that they even came close. So, before they clean up that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a few good hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon, but before I make the blitzes, how many will there be for dinner?
Oh, Your Royal Highness, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How is that?
How do you do? But before I make the blitzes, how many will there be for dinner?
Oh, I make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Good. The Tsar always tell me, Olga, do not be stingy with the blitzes.
Who did you say that was again, Mr. Vanderhof?
Oh, it was the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. Oh, she's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. We've still got all that stuff we were going to have last night. I mean, tonight.
And it looks like a pretty good dinner. It'll give us a chance to get acquainted. Why not stay?
Well, how about it, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
Why, if you'd care to, Tony, I'd like that very much.
No, Mr. Vanderhof, if Alice would just send that cab away.
How about it, Alice? Going to be a nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay?
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby! Tony, oh, Tony!
Alice.
Grandpa, you're wonderful!
Oh, I've been telling you that for years!
Grandpa, here's a letter for you. I found it in the icebox.
Let me see. The government again.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do?
Now, Miss Sycamore, if you'll follow me, I'd like to do a little dictating.
I better tell that cab.
Well.
What is it, Grandpa?
The United States government apologizes. It seemed I died 8 years ago. I don't know him a nickel.
What do they mean, Grandpa?
Remember Charlie, the milkman buried under my name?
Yes.
Well, I just told them that they made a mistake and that I'm Martin Vanderhof Jr. So they're very sorry and I may even get a refund.
Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Sure!
Mr. Vanderhof, how did you say you escaped the income tax again?
Friends, tonight we eat.
Hello there.
How do you do?
Fine. Glad to see you.
What happened?
Oh, he's just relaxing. Let's sing something, Ed.
So you met someone who set you back on your heels.
Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And you broke it in little pieces, and now how do you do? So lie awake to sing the blues all night. Goody, goody. So you think that love's a barrel of dynamite. Hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to ya. Goody, goody for him, goody, goody for me. And I hope you're satisfied, you rascal, you. Hey!
I know that song.
Oh, the business commissions, it's all...
Quiet! Everybody quiet! sir, here we are again. We want to say thanks more for everything you've done for us. Oh, things seem to be going along fine. Alice is going to marry Tony, and it seems as if they're going to be very happy. Oh, of course the fireworks blew up. No, but that was Mr. DePinna's fault. Not yours. We've all got our health, and as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you.
What did you mean? What did you mean?
So you met someone who set you back on your heels. Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And he broke it in little pieces. And now how do you do? So you lie awake just singing the blues all night. Goody, goody. So you think that love's a ball of dynamite. Hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to ya. Goody, goody for him, goody, goody for me. And I hope you're satisfied, your rascal you. So you met someone who set you back on your heels. Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And you broke it in little pieces. And now how do you do? So you lie awake just sing the blues all night. Goody, goody. So you think that love's a ball of dynamite. Hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to ya. Goody, goody for him, goody, goody, goody for me. Your love has been denied, you've been taken for a ride. And I hope you're satisfied, your rascal you. So you met someone who set you back on your heels. Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave